Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you came today. It's always a holiday when you're here, but today's a special one. So happy Easter. For those who are romping around looking for Easter eggs in Sacramento. Okay, well, I welcome you to the Advancement Center, our very, very special Advancement Center. And welcome to the world of magic and miracles, where once again we join one another in that space way above every part of the world we've ever been to. This is very special. And this place is above the platform of living that we've been speaking about all these years, because we elevated it as far as we possibly could and into the world of our Creator, where each one of us has our own connection. And each one of us can connect to one another through a source that only we know, through a method that only we know, and through the majestic being that is now extremely active in the physical world, performing magic and miracles. Through a series of adventures, we've now got to a point where we know we can call on magic and miracles in our own special way to actually make a difference in the physical world. The slight inflection, smile, the recognition between people, your ability to actually attract someone at a distance or in a crowd, on the other side of the dance floor or a theater, all now becoming part of the everyday tools of magic and miracles. So we interact once again. We're here so that we can experience the beautiful presence of each one of us. Now, the title for today was kind of interesting because several people read it in different ways. But what it says is there is now and no room for yesterday. I walked into the garden just before and I spoke to the mandarin plant that I've had for 3 years. And this is just an example. I am so excited with the blossoms and the tiny little mandarins that are showing. I don't talk to them about before they blossomed. I don't talk about their yesterday. I'm excited about what's coming. I'm encouraging them because I'm excited about the mandarins that they're going to be yielding. And remembering that last year we harvested 79 mandarins. That was exciting. And we filled up a bucket. There's so many things. And because our life is so full and our nows are so beautiful, that's what I meant. There's no time, attention, or need to go back to yesterday. Now, this reminds me, this past Thursday, I received a beautiful, beautiful visit from my granddaughter, who is, if I can remember what she does, she's working at the Jet Propulsion Lab in Boston for the company called Draper. So she's very accomplished, and we had a lot of catching up to do. But after a couple of hours of catching up on her life, and do you remember when's? I heard my spirit, I followed my spirit, and it took us both to the shed where we had a now conversation in color. And we had fun. And it was fun. She loved it. And guess what? She came right into the now and the present. And that's what it's all about. There's no room for reminiscing and remembering. And I think the magic of my life with Robert is that every morning is brand new. He doesn't even remember yesterday. I do. So I write it all in my journal, get it out on paper, and I can forget about it. And that's magic. That really is magic. Now, just this morning, we were listening to X22, and he had a guest on there who's talking about the economics of the future and where this is going to go down and where this is going to go sour and it's not going to happen and all this stuff. And he's talking about the demise of the industries. And Robert just turned around and said, that's when the industry of magic and miracles is going to blossom. And that made me feel really good. So that's what now means to me. And we don't have to remember anything because the future is coming so quickly and with so much fun. And we're looking forward to good news coming. So we're sharing every little tidbit that we hear about the good news. Now I'm going to continue with this wonderful piece from September 3rd, 2017. And by the way, I just ended last week with, and this is the fun of the magic that we've got, that we've always had. And to continue, and now we're delivering more gifts than we've ever experienced. And the biggest gift is the opening of the universe in all its fields and dimensions to everyone around us. We open those dimensions, and every day you'll have an experience where you walk to another dimension and suddenly the world is different. You walk along a path and out of nowhere you feel a little resistance, and then you pop through to the other side and you're in another dimension. And it's easy to connect to the history of that dimension, to who has been there, to who how it operates, just like when you were young. And anyone mentioned the fairies or the elves or the little people, and you got so excited because you knew about them. And many of us have been able to see them for years. I met Robert 10 years ago. And 10 years ago in May, we traveled from Australia to Brooklyn to visit Danny and his family. And we took a walk in Prospect Park. And we walked, and it's a beautiful park. It's like the Central Park is to Manhattan, Prospect Park is to Brooklyn. And we walked, and then one turn, and Robert said, let's stop here. And I looked with him, and he said, let's wait, because the birds are opening their dimension to us. And all of a sudden, I heard birds. They did not fly in. Robert explained to me that they allowed us into their dimension. I will never forget those moments. I never knew the magic of the husband I just married. It was wonderful. And it has continued. There are moments in Australia where we were walking in the bush and he said, "Stop. You feel anything? Now continue and tell me when you feel it again." And then I said, "Now." And he said, "Okay, come back a few steps. That's another dimension you just walked into." That's wonderful. So now we're getting a little closer to being able to switch our vibrations at massive rates so that we can stay in tune with the beings in different dimensions, so that we can communicate properly, and so that the animals and the birds understand us and we understand them. Every day, there are new experiences with animals and with everything that we experience every day. Communication with dolphins, whales, these are growing in importance and becoming a major part of everyone's life. As we start to clean everything up, it will get easier. More facilities will just become available out of nowhere because that's how the interface with the universe works. Things materialize from nowhere, but they also are developed by different people. But many times what's required to be developed is a gift that's brought in by a specific person or a group of people who have always had this in mind, to bring their special gift to the world that's actually physical. And we all have a component in us that leans that way. But now we're working beyond technology and beyond logic in a world of magic and miracles, specifically to introduce the industry of magic and miracles. We all talk about industrial ages, the Iron Age and the Electronics Age. Well, we're going into the age of magic and miracles, where each one of us has value beyond belief, where we start to understand how the resources of the world are us, how we understand that the power we have is what's being used in the industrial complexes of today. Not the machinery, but the people. And the magic we produce is saleable. The biggest thing is the value system has been driven back to us in the wrong format. Many of the systems that we used to look after one another, to distribute wealth and health and food, assistance, have been taken from us. Yet we still produce them. And now we don't have to do that. We come in from a whole different level where we stand above everything, just like we stand above the wave. And when we read that the wave is ready to climb on, we climb on our board or by swimming. We do the same with a wave of circumstance or a wave of harmony, but most particularly that wave of magic. That wave of magic that comes from the wave of your hand, the movement of your body, projection of a desire, but mostly because of your enthusiasm for the world. And we then know that our value is being felt because we feel it. We don't have to wait for feedback because it's instant. As soon as you connect to the rest of the world and to the rest of the universe, you get immediate gratification. Immediate, no thought, no reasoning, no limit. And as we keep going, we're getting better and better at freeing up our special gifts and allowing them to place themselves in the world at the appropriate time and in the appropriate place. To be continued. Think about your gifts. What are you bringing? Well, for once and for all, you know you're not from here. And every time David, Genya, and I speak, we redefine that. And we take you all home and ourselves too. And home is our origin. And once we know that, we really can be limitless because our thought is not constricted. It is not having to satisfy some teacher or professor or to give back on a test what they told us. And then we discover the system. And every day in the news, we're finding out how the wool has been pulled over the sheep's face or whatever that is. But we've been taken advantage of. But not anymore. Because when you have yourself, when you recognize just who you are, which is so much more than when you look in the mirror, and you recognize that there is a being, a majestic being, just behind you, and you follow your spirit, you will do things that you never dreamed of before. And the most exciting thing is when we share our experiences with each other. And that's why on Wednesday, David speaks. And there's the master speaking. And his poetry and prose are so magnificent that I get to retell it on Sunday. And then Genya comes along on Friday, and she is the friend of the fairies and the elves and the dolphins and everything else that swims or flies. And that is so uplifting and so much fun. And she brings us back to our childhood in an instant. And when I think of my childhood, all I remember is the magic of planting something and watching it grow. So I used to cut hedges and put them in water and watch the roots and then plant them all over the backyard. But these are all the magic moments that we cannot forget. And we must remind ourselves to remember the magic of each child because they're coming in with these gifts. So we have to listen to them, not teach them. Listen. Let's see. what's here. Oh, now, April 13th, last year. Okay. Simeon said, so now as we look at one another in a different light, we can see the glow, feel the encouragement, and not even have to comment on it. And I repeat, the greatest comment is the smile on your face, the lightness of your step, the joy in your heart, and the transmission that happens automatically because you have your power system running. The music that you generate is the source of the movement. So the lighter you are, the easier it is for the world and everything around you to take up that tune and modify itself to suit every note. There are many, many millions of variations. And once again, simplicity reigns. The easier you feel, the greater your power, the more effect you have on everything, and how out of nowhere things can appear in packages that you have never, ever imagined. Because of your brilliance, everything is hidden until it appears. And it sometimes appears when it's not in focus, and most times it appears out of nowhere without any reason. But somewhere inside you, you know you did it. You know you made it happen. And you are totally correct. And it is not a competition. Many people may know they've made things happen, but remember, they're never the same. They may look close, but they're never the same. Everything is individual, and therefore, everyone's effort builds the field that makes everything work properly. You have achieved many, many things with the earth. You have settled it in many ways. You have settled the planets. You have made sure that comets don't come into your field, and you have a great influence in the systems that are put together by those who are in different fields to your human field. There are so many who are on your side that you cannot imagine it. And everyone, human or otherwise, in the realms of other worlds and in your world, continue to walk a path that only they know, but with one thing in mind, and that's the generation of perfection in everybody's world. And right now, Earth is in the focus because of the birth of the new age, of the change in vibration of every being, of the newness of every physical form. It has never happened before and probably will never happen again. So everybody must be involved, but in the simplest way, with the greatest degree of honor and respect for everyone and everything, and with the special powers that each advanced being sends into the physical world as an example of how it can be done. As a result, many new gifts will be delivered so that you may enjoy the present time and the future, not because it compares with the past, but because it compares with nothing. Only you can recognize the massive development in your own being and how your presence is honored by the masters, by all the advanced beings here and not here, and most of all, by yourself. At this time, I welcome you all into your own environment that you brought from your origin and placed in the physical world. Thank you all for listening. I am Simeon. Yeah, I know you feel him. I do. This has a date that has passed, but it's now. Never look back. Even if you think you need to recap on what you have said previously, you can only move forward and have total confidence in what is delivered from your origin. The more detail that is required, the more you need to move forward and collect what is there rather than look back and attempt to retain what was never intended for your retention. This is the element of simplicity. I was going to say sincerity, that too, but simplicity is paramount in your life and most certainly important for the advancement of humanity. Now, you might recall, or maybe not, I thought I was about to share David's poetry last Sunday and ended up with a writing with the exact same title. But now I located his poetry, and it's called, and it's so appropriate, Keep Moving Forward. There is now no room for yesterday. And he wrote, keep moving forward. Don't look back. The past is the past. It's a matter of fact. Like a snake, just shed that skin from all the places you've been stuck in. You have no idea what's in store, and if you keep moving forward, there's always more. Left, right, left, right, one foot in front of the other, marching to the musical beat of your own magical drummer. Keep moving forward. Don't look back. The past is past. It's a matter of fact. All pain and suffering and the choices you made no longer exist, have no power today. A brand new start every day, a blank canvas. That's how we play. Release yourself from judgment and blame. Be gentle and caring. There never was any shame. Only joy awaits you, no matter what the circumstance. You are loved. You are loved in this incredible dance. It's the secret of life, something we're made to do. When you move your energy forward, there's no stopping you. So keep moving forward and don't look back. The past is the past. It's just a matter of fact. That's perfect. Okay. Here we go. Speaking of facts, we don't want old news. We want the new. And the news that I can give you about Swasindo is that, well, let's see. Someone wrote something very beautiful about Honorable Bapak, who, as you know, has been in jail since August, my goodness, last year. And he said, Honorable Bapak showed us a new way of playing chess. The pawns are placed in the back row, and the leaders, the king, queen, knights, and the rest are at the front. Why? He said, it is time for the world to change all matters. To change all matters can be solved easily by the kings, the queens, the leaders of both parties, and we do not need to sacrifice the pawns, the people, anymore. He won the chess game with in two moves. And he said, I see Honorable Bapak looking down at the world chessboard now. The leaders are finally at the front rows, the King of Kings and the President, the candidates ready to make a decision for the highest good of the people of Indonesia and the world. And in its own way, there are so many millions of people who are concerned and loving Honorable Bapak as they download their M1 vouchers, and they are praying and meditating twice a day. Millions of people praying together. That's wonderful. We should keep doing that and focus on the true and the real. Now, in preparing for his release, each ambassador, and that's me, has been tasked to prepare for his release, to create and present a plan and a list of resources for their ministry. So we're told to review our particular area, to research. And as you might know, I'm the Director of Health and Well-Being. So I thought, oh, this was an assignment made in heaven to resource, to look at a list of resources with Robert here. That will be useful and implementing for the new earth. This information will be presented to the Royal Council in May. So we're supposed to get together with our ministry. Well, who's my ministry? V.D. Jones. And we had our first meeting. And because we're both in the health and well-being ministry, we have so many wonderful projects at our fingertips. We also have Baratunde and Kaya, who are in alternative health, and they live in Belize. And we're going to pool our resources. Now, we have this wealth of valuable benefits that Robert's introduced us through his projects beyond technology. Now, most of you know about healing pads, healing plates, nano-coated wands, beacons, ping pong balls, self-healing talks from Robert that you all heard, and sharing with people around the globe how not to be so dependent on the medical world. Perhaps the most important is to have people having faith in their spirit and to follow it into the flow of harmony and progress. So we have work to do, and we're not just sitting around having meetings every Thursday night. So once again, here's the M1 voucher. You put your picture and you don't sign it. You don't put your social security, but you put the other hand, right thumbprint. And then, of course, here is the debt burden relief certificate. That's a little bit further down on the page, and you'll find this in swisindo.news. And if you want to hear everything that's happening, you go to swisindo.net and you'll find the Wikipedia or WikiLeaks, I'm not sure which, but it's happening and people are gearing up for peace and prosperity. I just feel like I have so many wonderful things. And then, of course, I read from the letter that some of us got from Archangel Michael last week. And here's another portion. A new fleet of huge central race support craft was detected arriving through the solar portal. These amazing light ships will start transmitting powerful Atlantean advanced coded Andara crystal energy beams towards Earth. Wow. Delta forces are on high alert as these incredible central race plasma craft prepare to send a new multi-dimensional version of 5D 40 Hertz plasma light towards the surface of planet Earth. This new type of 5D energy has not been present on Earth since the ancient days of Atlantis and is created using advanced and magical Andara crystal technology. This new 5D superwave of gamma photon plasma rainbow light contains packets of high-frequency coded Akashic data that originates from celestial Atlantean temples in the fifth dimension and will begin showing up on Earth's Schumann resonance at the 40 Hertz level over the coming hours and days. A lot is happening. And the magic continues. I have two amazing writings, poems, prose by David. And it's an honor to share them with you again. And this one is called One Moment. Behind your eyes, I see the most beautiful being standing before me, one who sits in total freedom, but who is held back from their pure expression because of the control of the system. This incredible being stays hidden behind curtains that are pulled down over their true eyes, only allowing them to be seen when they feel safe. Once revealed, the beauty is both seen and felt as you are taken behind their veil directly to their origin. From there, they are able to transmit the pure signal directly from source, unfiltered and unlimited, without any fear or doubt, so that their true kingdom is seen, even as we are standing in this physical dimension. As the new energies continue to pour onto the planet, the you that is behind your eyes will come forward in greater and greater proportion. No longer will that you just appear to yourself and the few that you have been given to share it with, but it will come forward for the whole world to see. This is the new world that is here. This is the new world that is you. Behind your eyes, I see you now. Behind your eyes, to you, I bow. Behind your eyes, I see the light. Behind your eyes, a brilliant sight. Behind your eyes, your true life lives. Behind your eyes, from here you give. Behind your eyes, there's a majesty and grace. Behind your eyes, a magnificent face. Behind your eyes, the unlimited you. Behind your eyes, there is nothing to do but to pull up the shade for the world to see your beauty and power, your love for humanity. Continue stepping forward. You will obtain the prize as you reveal the you that sits behind your eyes. What I'm feeling And this connection with you has no words. And there's another gift from David. Amazing. It's called the last barrier. You're almost free. Please come with me past that last barrier, sensuality. It's beyond the physical, yet it includes the physical too. It's the source of all creation, no limitations for you. Made of sparkles and stardust, our fields merge and dance. Through a sensual union, all life is enhanced. We've always been held back from expressing this life force. The last prison door swings open. No guilt and no remorse. To all who are led to energetically connect into those fields, we are now able to inject the gift of sensuality to set them free from that part of themselves that they didn't want to be. It's a beautiful feeling to be expressed and shared, an energetic enhancement. They taught us to be scared. We are beings of beauty, expressing love through union, dancing together to the universal music. What I am expressing is not easy to understand. Please don't look at it through the lens of fallen man, for it is so majestic and holy, uncluttered by rules. The truth was flipped upside down. Now we will make them the fool. For you now will move freely in the full power of your sensuality that you brought from your origin to lift all humanity. It's your essential nature, no longer blocked by a lie. Feel yourself as creator. Now you're ready to fly. Make yourself available for the energy to flow. This is the next step of our evolution back to what we've always known. There's so much more to say. This energy will change your life. Inside you is the sun and stars, and you are the tree of life. Thank you so much for being here. I feel you all with me. And we here at the Advancement Center are so pleased to wish you a perfect life, perfect health, and a truly magic future. Thank you.